And isn't it interesting how history is repeating itself? Because
Yeah.
now we have Ukraine, the proxy war
Yes.
that the US and NATO is fighting against Russia via Ukraine. And in the UK, they banned RT, so that other voice. And now they're pushing for not only weapons, they're pushing for nuclear war. Like the US and NATO are pushing us towards nuclear war, not diplomacy, more and more weapons. $50 billion right now is on the table in the US in January, $50 billion more to go to. Meanwhile, our country's, kind of falling apart economically.
Yeah.
And we're being censored heavily. And it's the same subject matter that Katharine Gun was talking about. They're publicly talking about strong arming other nations that don't go along with them. They must rebuff Russia or they will get sanctioned. So they're not even hiding it anymore. Like it's not even like,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's interesting how it's like amnesia. So I really think the official secrets, I think your documentary raises awareness again to say, hey, wait a second. We went through this with Iraq and 1 million plus people died
I
for
know.
an illegal
Yeah.
war. And now we're doing it
Yeah.
again. Like,
Yeah.
and so I think it's a very
But I
important.
just think they don't care
Yeah.
if they've got blood on their hands, and war means money, doesn't it? It's
Yeah.
only ever going to benefit
Right.
the rich people and
The
the
weapons
men in
manufacturers.
power. It makes the Iraq war made an incredible amount of money for the West. All the oil pipelines that the West took over in Iraq, and that's what it was about. Everyone knew that was what it was about. But unfortunately, no one, the leaders of our country don't care about soldiers. They don't care about the families of soldiers that have to go out and fight in a war that isn't anything to do with them and defend them, and it's just about money. It's about land and property and guns,
Yeah. And we're
trade.
doing. Yeah, and we're doing it again to Haiti, like we're going in and or invading Haiti. The U.S. is. I don't think the English is involved with that right now, but the
No.
U.S. is. And so interesting that Oxfam came up in your documentary. But all three subject matter is so meaningful, right, in this moment in history.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Because these were like big scandals in the last 20 years. So it did feel a little bit. I mean, Rose was the most recent. And even then, it feels like, we're a year on from when he got sentenced.
Right.
And even then, it feels a little bit further away, and actually doesn't take long for us to come full circle again. And you're right, there's this horrible amnesia where it's like, God, are we really going to make this mistake again? Yeah, just really hope not. I really hope that's not the case. I do think now, though, with your voice, with voices like Rose, there's so much more movement on Twitter, on Instagram, on social media of the public just saying, no, this isn't right. This doesn't feel right. Something feels wrong about this, and calling out the governments, calling out the bureaucracy and the bullshit. I think it absolutely, people are moving a lot more. People's voices are getting stronger, and they're stronger than they were 20 years ago. And hopefully we won't go to such extremes without there being some kind of uprising against war, against corruption.
We'll see. Yeah, I mean, you were at the brink again, so we'll see.